Sagma has been essentially forgotten through the ages, but until today, because we're using him with Arthur, get that 30% attack buff, and hope for the best. Because Arthur doesn't need the attack buff right away, we can actually just use Sigurd, no issues. Like, it became a problem because every Sigurd team that people using PvP for fun kind of needed that extra touch of having a character that turn 1 instantly lowers the stats of the enemy so that you can actually get the attack buff right away. But the thing is, Arthur doesn't really do anything first turn, right? Everyone knows this. He ain't doing much in the first turn. So, we got a perfect opportunity, because now we can just wait one turn, and then we get the attack buff, and then we do stuff with Arthur. We're going to have the 30% attack buff. Is it going to do something? I don't know. 30% attack buff for a character that kind of wants both attack and HP. Let's see. Let's see how much damage we do. You know, I kind of want to attack with Sigurd. That's not bad against the Yuri team, actually. We definitely... Okay. We definitely could have seen more damage with... Got Liz in the back. Isn't this Liz... Doesn't her relic give HP? Listen. Some characters, I only think of their passive, and I forget what name she is. She is just base Liz. So she has the regular relic. It's weird because, yes. When I think base red Liz, I think the SR, you know? And I think most people would, understand what I'm saying. Like, because of the way they made characters back then, it gets a little confusing to know if she has the same relic. She does. This is why a lot of people are using her. She has really high CC and she also provides 15% HP. So comparing him to like Yuri, right? We're not getting the 15% HP, which would increase our damage, right? Arthur does base damage on HP as well, but that is generally speaking fine. I should do this because I don't know how the buffs multiply. Does every buff only enhance upon the base number, or do buffs multiply each other? Because for example, the attack buff that Sigurd gives is not the same thing. It's like a separate kind of buff as a passive buff, like Yuri's, right? One's a buff from a buff, like, stat, you know, like a blue buff. And one is a passive buff. Do both just enhance the base stat, or does the, like, blue buff enhance a passive buff on top? I have no idea. Maybe someone knows. Do they ever explain that? In any case, he does give 15% more attack, which Arthur does scale from. Like, he scales off of attack. But because he also gets some extra damage based on HP, it becomes kind of hard to tell which one will make him hit harder. So far, he's hitting, I think, about the same. Oh no. But obviously, for a character like Arthur, which he's a tank, you would realistically want more HP on him all the time. But if buffs are the way I think they should be, which is they all compound they all compound on each other and add up together, right? Then like a 30% buff would go on top of the 15, not on top of the original number. then, you know, we're getting a little bit more than just an extra 15% attack, right? We're getting a bit more than that. But is it even that good? Is 15% HP just better? Honestly, probably. we're way too early in for me to already say that, you know, the dream is dead, but listen. I like beating around the bush, you know. With this character, Arthur, so far what I've seen is by using him with attack crit as well. I wish that was killed. Like, yeah, he does kill with attack, so giving him more attack will make him hit a little bit harder than giving him more HP. But it's not that significant, you know? With a lot of characters, they're just regular attack scaling characters, right? You put them with HP defense, then you put them with attack crit, and you see a huge difference in damage. Not with this guy, because he's kind of a hybrid. So you might see a little bit. We might end up... I'm not noticing right now, but we might end up seeing him hit a bit harder. I need to attack with SIGURD just for the walls. By having more attack here with SIGURD, but like, if he is, it's not as significant as another character would. For example. So it becomes really hard to quantify how actually good that would be. I mean, the one unfortunate thing is, you know, SIGURD got really relegated to, oh, you know, hey, let's have some fun with a, let's ult of him. I haven't seen his ult in a while. With a amplify character. But amplify characters are not as common these days. Like, the last relevant amplify character, other than Albedo, because like that's amplify on counters. I'm talking about like card attack card amplifies, like Trader Melee, right? 2021. But it is crazy how SIGURD dropped one of the coolest concepts of passives ever. Having double race on a unit, like, is so cool. I don't know why I checked for Tarmia Link. It's just such a habit. I can't. It's an impossibly hard habit to destroy, huh? One of the coolest concepts, having the double race, and never again we got a character like SIGURD. We were like, everyone was super, you know, expecting Tristan to be the same thing, like a goddess demon type thing. And it didn't come about, right? It was very disappointing. Okay, we're not gonna get SIGURD passive because they cleansed. It is what it is. Goddesses are not very common. So I wasn't even expecting to face a goddess team. I don't know why. I again checked my Alfred Army. the war visions. The trauma. It's never left my mind. Yeah, speaking of, like, Tristan, when we get his Knight of the Apocalypse version, I really hope he gets the treatment that we, you know, wish he had gotten. The extra race as part of the passive really was missing. Now, for him, the way he was designed, it was designed with, you know, not even being used in mind. He was clearly meant as a back unit. Arthur, dude, it's funny, like, Arthur's the only character I'm like, oh, he's disabled by Tarmia Link? Don't care. Like, I don't care. He's still gonna kill. I do not care. So even though, you know, you guys may or may not know, I am the self-proclaimed #1 Ragnarok hater. I'm still a big fan of what they did with SIGURD here. With that whole concept. I mean, honestly, I wish they would have just made every Ragnarok character have just really cool concepts like Sigurd, because at the time demons really needed him, like they really did, and I don't know if it was because of that he got it. I'll be honest, I only played the Ragnarok story on the Japanese version of the game, so I don't know what's happening really. But, you know, whatever the case was, it was an intelligent thing to do. It was a cool concept, and with Ragnarok, that's what I expected. You know, like, this is their own thing. This is original stuff. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to be limited to the, you know, the limits of what the adapting the manga into the game would be. But, you know, I guess the characters are strong from Ragnarok. They just aren't, like, all of the characters, kids from Ragnarok could have just been Seven Deadly Sins characters, except Sigurd. That's the thing, like, he's the only one that I would say, oh yeah, like, no other character from Seven Deadly Sins they could have said this is a hybrid between demon and human, except maybe like possessed Gilla from season 1 and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, those, like, not so relevant characters that were like a very specific point in time in the story. And even then, I don't know. If they just kept making all the Ragnarok characters interesting like that, it would be super cool. But, you know, like, it's here. Whatever, any character could have had that passive. No character needed to, you know, not have that passive so that he could have had it. Same for any other Ragnarok character. Hell, whatever. Any character could have just had that passive. But, you know. Sigurd was special. To be fair though, it's been like, what? I don't even remember how long since the last Ragnarok character has been introduced in the game. So, hey, for compared to the insane streak they went on with Ragnarok characters, where they'll just drop so many in a row, and then it would be like Ragnarok, and then the other one, Catastrophes, like back to back. Right now, it's not in anyone's mind how bad it is, because I guess they realized that people aren't playing this game for Catastrophes and Ragnaroks, right? But if they went back, especially there's gonna be a new one. Forgot the dude's name, the little blonde child from the last chapter. He's probably gonna be a festival, or if not a festival, like at least an important banner for Ragnarok. I hope they give him something interesting like Sigurd, but I don't think any character is gonna get it. So, at the very least, if they do re-release Sigurd into, like, I don't know, I was hoping that would kill. It was type disadvantage. Like a seasonal version. Summer is already approaching, right? 1 month is summer. Whatever. Whatever the case would be. Whatever season. I hope that he keeps that half demon, half human thing, but just has a more, you know, updated passive. Because, I mean, he is kind of old at this point. 2021, his stats are not going to be the most amazing, are they? Yeah, they sure aren't. They sure aren't. But, you know, with a really good passive, they can make anything work. So if they are going to release a new Ragnarok for, like, a seasonal, I would prefer to be Sigurd over some random guy. You didn't kill there? Come on.